occupation?
Hi, my name is Sandra Buenrostro. I'm a rehabilitation counselor. I'm also a career counselor and an adjunct counselor in the community college.
Why did you select your career field?
Um, I selected my career field back when I was in high school. I took an interest test, and counseling was one of the careers that came up. Um, I forgot about that for a while. I started working, and while I was working, I started going into jobs in which they had counselors in the offices that I worked at. And I really liked what I saw with regards to the work that counselors did. I worked for a state agency, and the state agency had vocational rehabilitation counselors that help people with disabilities find work. That was really interesting to me, and I ended up going into a training program for that occupation, for that career. Later on, that employer helped me with actually obtaining my master's degree. They paid for it, and I completed a master's degree while employed for that department.
What education did you need to get into your career field?
At the time when I first got into rehabilitation counseling, um, a master's degree was not required. However, they had changed the regulations, and currently, to get into that field, you do need a master's degree. To go into a lot of counseling jobs, they require a master's degree. I worked for the community college district as well, and to be employed as an adjunct counselor, you do need a master's degree. Working in the K through 12 system, they require a master's degree and a credential. If you want to be a private counselor, you need a master's degree and a state license. So, depending on what type of counseling you want to get into, there are different types of certifications that you can obtain.
What did you learn about yourself in the workforce?
Well, one of the important things that I learned in the workforce is that I tried different jobs. I was lucky enough to work for the state of California, and back then, or even now, you can work for the state of California and actually transfer to different departments. So you could do completely different things depending on what department you go into. So, like, there's Caltrans, Department of Forestries, a tax office, an office that helps people with disabilities find employment. So, my experience was mainly working in a tax office and then working with people with disabilities, finding employment. And by working, I realized what types of careers I really wanted to do. When I was working in the tax office, I thought, wow, to advance into being an auditor or collector, you need an education. And I was thinking maybe I should go into accounting to advance in that department. So I took an accounting class, and when I took the accounting class, I realized that job was not for me. I didn't enjoy the accounting class, and it helped me figure out what I didn't want to do. So the good thing about trying jobs or classes, just to figure out if you like it, that's a good thing, but also to determine that you don't like it, it's a good thing as well, because then okay, I tried it, it's not for me, I should look for something else. So what I learned is always try to do things, whether it's a class or a job, and figure out if that's a good match for you long term.
Can you share some tips to help myself or peer get into this career field?
To get into the counseling field,
Yes.
that career field, well, you probably should talk to different types of counselors. You have counselors on your college campus, And then you have college counselors who work off the college campus. You have counselors in the schools, high schools. You have also counselors that maybe work in their own office. You could always call someone, a business up, and just ask them, I'm doing a career project. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your job. And people are always willing to give you information about what they do. So my advice is to put yourself out there, connect with volunteer opportunities. Professional organizations is a great thing too. All of the professional organizations are affiliated with different occupations. They always have some type of conferences. You could always, as a student, volunteer at those conferences and connect with professionals in that field. That's really important. But just giving yourself a lot of different exposure to the field, the counseling field. Like I said, whether it be through volunteering or connecting with people that are around you in your community who are doing those jobs, that's important. And it's never too soon to start doing something like that. The sooner you start, the better. And I think then it will lead to you making those connections early and then being able to get into that type of work.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.